ओम नमस्ते जी सभी को सादर नमस्ते. Welcome to everybody. Let's start for today. Sit down straight, close the eyes gently, and bring our mind to focus. Deep inhale and exhale with the body totally relaxed. We are going to do Om Jap, chanting of Om, and while doing chanting of Om, just follow the sound waves and the vibrations. O. With O, the sound waves, the vibration starts with the belly button, the stomach region, rises up along the spine up to the brain, and when we finish with M, we can, if we are totally immersed, we can feel the vibrations at the level of the brain. So just try to do that. Be relaxed. Don't hate on yourself. You'll enjoy that if you just be focused and be relaxed. Then we'll do Gayatri mantra in the form of bhajan, and we'll proceed ahead. Om Bhurbhuvah Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. तूने हमें उत्पन्न किया, पालन कर रहा है तो तुझसे ही पाते प्राण हम, दुखियों के कष्ट हरता है तो तेरा महान तेज है, छाया हुआ सभी स्थान, सृष्टि की वास्तु वास्तु में तू हो रहा है विद्यमान, तेरा ही धरते ध्यान हम, मांगते तेरी दया, ईश्वर हमारी बुद्धि को श्रेष्ठ मार्ग पर चला. ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. Gently join the palms together, rub them, cover the eyes, and open the eyes below the palm. External light doesn't hit our eyes. सभी को सादर नमस्ते. अथेश्वर स्तुति प्रार्थना उपासना मंत्र. ओम Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasva Yadbhadram Tanna Asva Om Hiranyagarbha Samavartatagre Bhutasya Jatah Patirekāsit Sadādhāra Prithivim Dhyamute Mam Tasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema Om Atmada Balada Yasya Vishvasate Prashi Yasya Chayamritam Yasya Mrityo Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema Om Yah Pranato Nimishato Mahitvaika Idra Jajagato Babhuva Ya Ishe Yasya Dvipadascha Tushpada Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema Om Ye Nadyorugra Prithivi Chadridha Ye na Swasta Bhitam Ye na Naka Yo Antarikshe Rajaso Vimana Kasmai Devaya Havisha Vidhema Om Prajapate Natvaditanyo Vishvajatani Parita Babhuva Yatkamaste Johomastanno Astu Vayam Syama Patayorainam Om Sano Bandhurjanita Savidhata Dhamani Veda Bhuvanani Vishva Yatra Deva Amrita Manashana Sritiye Dhamannadhyayanta Om Agnena Yasupataraye Asman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidwan Yuyodhyasmadjoranameno Bhuishtante Nama Uktim Vidhema Itishur Stuti Prasnupasna Prakaranam. Just a recap, first mantra, Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasuva. We are praying to Almighty Ishwar God to remove all our ills and evils and to inspire in us the good things and beneficial things. And Ishwar God just does the inspiration, motivates us to stay away from evils and prompt us to engage in righteous thoughts and righteous actions is for us to walk the way. So to remove the ills and evils, it's our job, and to fill in all that is beneficial is also our job. Ishwar bas antaratma ki awaaz through the inner voice guides us to be on the right track. But we are free to walk on the right track, but then if we choose otherwise, we have to reap the fruits or the outcome of our karma. That would be a positive outcome for positive karma and negative outcome for negative karma. Now for Angsparsh, please take water in the right palm. Water in the right palm, 3 times, 3 mantras there. Take sufficient water so that it goes down the throat, clearing the throat. Om Amritopastara Namasi Swaha. Second time. Om Amrita Pidhanamasi Swaha. Third time. Om Satyam Yashah Shirmai Shri Shayatam Swaha. Wash the hands. Now take water in the left palm, Angsparsh. Always take some examples from water and be inspired. Water symbolizes purity, and we have to keep our thoughts, our words, and our actions pure. Purity of mind, body, and spirit on the path of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. At the end of the mantra for all the actions. Om Vangmasyastu. Om Nasormi Pranostu. Om Akshanormi Chakshurastu. Om Karniyormi Shrotramastu. Om Bahormi Balamastu. Om Urvorma Ojustu. Om Arishtani Mangani Tanustanvame Sasanto. Now lighting of the lamp at the end of this short mantra. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha. If you have the Havan Kund now, you'll use the camphor to introduce the fire in the Havan Kund at the end of this mantra. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Dhyoriva Bhumna Prithiviva Varimna Tasyaste Prithivi Deva Yajani Prishthe Agnimanna Manna Dhyayadadhe. The next mantra says Udbudhya Swagni. This is to get the fire blazing. And we are going to put 2 free spoonfuls of ghee on the fire, on the samidhas to get the fire blazing. Om Udbudhya Swagni Pratijagri Tvamishta Purte Sansrije Thamayancha. Asmin sadhaste adyutarasmin vishve devaya jamanascha sidata. Samidha dawn, 3 pieces of samidha dipped into ghee. Pehle samidha, is mantra se, the first samidha when we say swaha with this mantra. Om ayanta idmatma jata vedaste nedya svardha swachedda vardaya chasman prajaya pashubhir brahma varchase nadyena samedhaya swaha. Idam agnaye jata vedase idam namama. Second samidha, we have 2 mantras here. It will be on the second swaha phase. Om Samidhagnim Duvasyata Griterbodayata Tithim Asmin Havya Juhotana Svaidamagnedam Namama Om Susamidhaya Shotishe Gritam Tivram Juhotana Agnaye Jata Vedase Svaha Idam Agnaye Jata Vedase Idam Namama. Third Samidha. Om Tantva Samidbhirangiro Gritena Vardhayamasi Priyachochaya Vishtaya Svaha Idam Agnengirase Idam Namama. Panchagrit Ahuti. Offering of ghee 5 times with the same mantra to get the fire blazing, because after that it would be ahutis of ghee and samagri. So the fire gets sufficient energy to transform the ghee and the samagri, the essential oils with the samagri, into vapors. And that goes into the air. We breathe in these vapors. That goes into our lungs, into our bloodstream, and boosts our immunity. Ahuti with this swaha, please. Om ayanta idmatma jata vedaste nedya swavardha swachidda vardaya chasman prajaya pashubhir brahma varchase namnadyena samedhaya svaha idam agnaye jata vedase idam namama. Om ayanta idmatma jata vedaste nedya swavardha swachidda vardaya chasman prajaya pashubhir brahma varchase namnadyena samedhaya svaha idam agnaye jata vedase idam namama. Om ayanta idmatma jata vedaste nedya swavardha swachidda vardhaya chasman prajaya pashuvir brahma varchase namnadyena samedhaya svaha idam agnaye jata vedase idam namama. Om ayanta idmatma jata vedaste nedya swavardha swachidda vardhaya chasman prajaya pashubhir brahma varchase namnadyena samedhaya svaha idam agnaye jata vedase idam namama. Jal sechanam, sprinkling of water around the Havan Kund. First on the east side. Om Aditenu Manyasva. Now on the west. Om Anumatenu Manyasva. Then on the north. Om Saraswatyanu Manyasva. Around the Havan Kund, moving clockwise, starting from northeast and ending to the northeast. Ishan Disha, which is a very important direction in Vedic science, because usually when we do Shilanyas Vidhi, laying of the foundation stone for our house, we always put the first Ahuti also in the northeast direction when we are having the Havan before laying the foundation stone, and during the Griha Pravesh, entering the new house, when we do Havan, the ahutis on the outside of the house, the first one is always on the northeast. Northeast symbolizes the source of sunlight in summer in the northern hemisphere, spring and summer. And that is the light which also enables us to see all around us, take cognizance of physical sciences around us, and live in this world with the light, physical light, as well as the light of knowledge, the knowledge of the Vedas also. Om Deva Savita Prasuvayadyam Prasuvayadypatim Bhagaya Divyo Gandharva Keta Puke Tanna Punatu Vachaspatir Vachanna Swadatu. Ahutis of ghee, the first one on the north, then on the south, and in the center. Remember, pouring the ghee in streamlined form from northwest to northeast, southwest to southeast. Now the north. Om Agnaye Svaha Idam Agnaye Idam Namama. South. Om Somaya Svaha Idam Somaya Idam Namama. Center. Om Prajapataye Svaha Idam Prajapataye Idam Namama. Om Indraya Svaha Idam Indraya Idam Namama. Ahutis of both ghee and samagri, Prathakalin ahuti, mantras for the morning. Om Suryo Jyotir Jyoti Surya Svaha. Om Suryo Varcho Jyotir Varcha Svaha. Om Jyoti Surya Suryo Jyoti Svaha. Om Sajur Devena Savitra Sajurusha Sendраvatya Dushana Suryaveto Svaha. Ahutis for the evening, the afternoon. Agnira Jyoti. Om Agnira Jyotir Jyotiragni Svaha. Om Agnir Varcho Jyotir Varcha Svaha. Om Svaha. Om Sajur Devena Savitra Sajuratrandраvatya Jushano Agnir Veto Svaha. Ahutis for both morning and afternoon. Om Bhuragnaye Pranaya Svaha. Idam Agnaye Pranaya Idam Namama. Om Bhuvarvaive Panaya Svaha. Idam Vaive Panaya Idam Namama. Om Swaradityaya Vyanaya Svaha. Idam Adityaya Vyanaya Idam Namama. Om Bhurvasvaragnivaivaditevya pranapanvyanabhya svaha. Idam agnivaivaditevya pranapanvyanabhya idam namama. Om Apo Jyotirasomritam Brahma Bhurvasvarom svaha. Om Yam Medham Devagana Pitarashchopasate Taya Madhyamedhayagni Medhavinam Kuru Svaha. Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duratani Parasva Yad Bhadram Tannasva Svaha. Om Agnena Yasupathara Yasman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidwan Yuyodhyasmadjuhuranamino bhuishtante namoktim vidhema svaha. Om Agnir Jyotir Jyotiragni svaha. Om Agnir Varcho Jyotir Varcha svaha. Om Svaha. Om Sajur Devena Savitra Sajuratrandраvatya Jushano Agnir Veto Svaha. Well, come back to the same. Okay, no problem. Usually when we do it in Mauritius, we do Surya Jyoti first, the series, and then we come to Agnir Jyoti. No problem. We'll go to some special mantras. Today is as we say, Satyartha Prakash Jayanti, 12th June 1874. Maharishi Dayanand started the dictation of Satyartha Prakash. So with the Satyartha Prakash, reading the Satyartha Prakash, studying the Satyartha Prakash is for enlightenment. So for the enlightened mind, we'll do mantras from Yajurveda. 31st chapter, first Gayatri mantra. In itself, it says, Yo yo naha prachodayat, ईश्वर हमारी बुद्धि को श्रेष्ठ विचारों और श्रेष्ठ कर्मों में प्रेरित करें. Praying for the enlightened mind to engage in righteous thoughts and righteous actions. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Tiyo yo na prachodayat swaha. Om Sadasaspati Madbhutam Priyamindrasya Kamyam Sanim Medhamaya Sisham Swaha. Medha is the enlightened mind. Om Yam Medham Devagana Pitarashchopasate Tayama Madhya Medhayagni Medhavinam Kuru Swaha. Om Medham Me Varuno Dadatu Medham Agni Prajapati Medham Indrascha Vayuscha Medham Dhata Dadatu Me Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodayat swaha. Now we take the mantra with which Maharishi Dayanand has done the opening of the Satyartha Prakash. And it's from Yajurveda 36th chapter. It's also from the Taittiriya Upanishad, but the mantra comes in Yajurveda 36th chapter, which is Shanti Sukta. Om Shanno Mitra Shanvaruna Shanno Bhavatvariyyama Shanna Indro Brihaspati Shanno Vishnu Rurukrama Swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodayat swaha. Now we'll move towards the close of this yaj. 3 times Gayatri mantra, 3 times Mahamrityunjay mantra, and then we'll have Swishtakrita Ahuti. After Swishtakrita Ahuti, 1 Ahuti, and then Sarvam by Purnam Swaha. So Gayatri mantra, both ghee and samagri. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodayat swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodayat swaha. Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodayat swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva Bandhanan Mrityurmukshiyamamratat swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva Bandhanan Mrityurmukshiyamamratat swaha. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukmiva Bandhanan Mrityurmukshiyamamratat swaha. Swishtakrita Ahuti. If you have prasad, that's fine, ghee and prasad, otherwise only ghee. Om Yadasya karmanotyaririsham yadvyanunmihakaram Agnishta Shrishta Kridvidyat Sarvam Swishtam Suhutam Karotu me Agnaye Shrishtakate Suhutahute Sarvaprayashita Hutinam Kamanam Samardetre Sarvanaha Kaman Samardhya Swaha Idam Agnaye Shrishtakate Idam Namama Om Gi Om Swaha Idam Prajapataye Idam Namama Purnahuti Ghee and Samagri Om Sarvam Vai Purnam Swaha Om Sarvam Vai Purnam Swaha Om Sarvam Vai Purnam Swaha. Put all the patras, the utensils down. We are going to do Mahavam Devyagan, which is free mantras from the Samved. And I'll try to make it in tune with the notes in the Samved. Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Kayanashchitra Abhuvaduti Sada Vridha Sakha Kaya Shatishtaya Vrita Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Kastva Satyo Madanam Manghishto Matsadandasa Drida Chidaru Vasu Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha Abhishona Sakhinam Vita Jaritrenam Shatam Bhavasyutaye Om Bhurabhuvah Swaha. Now, Yaj Pratna. Some volunteer, please unmute yourself and do the Yaj Pratna. Okay, Premji, go ahead. Come closer to your mic, please.
I did it.
Now it's clear. No, you are muted now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's good.
Okay. यज रूप प्रभु हमारे भाव उज्ज्वल कीजिए छोड़ देवे छल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए वेद की बोले ऋचाएं सत्य को धारण करें हर्ष में हम अग्रसारे शोक सागर से करें अश्वमेधादिक रचाए यज्ञ पर उपकार को, धर्म मर्यादा चला कर लाभ दे संसार को। नित्य श्रद्धा भक्ति से यज्ञ आदि हम करते रहें, रोग पीड़ित विश्व के संताप सब हरते रहें। भावना मिट जाए मन से पाप अत्याचार की, कामनाएं पूर्ण होवे यज्ञ से नर नार की। लाभकारी हो हवन हर प्राणधारी के लिए, वायु जल परि सर्वत्र हूँ शुभ गंध को धारण किए। स्वार्थ भाव मिटे हमारा प्रेम पथ विस्तार हो, इदन मम का सार्थक प्रत्येक में व्यवहार हो। हाथ जोड़ झुकाए मस्तक वंदना हम कर रहे, नाथ करुणा रूप करुणा आपकी सब पर रहे। यज्ञ रूप प्रभु हमारे भाव उज्ज्वल कीजिए, छोड़ देवे छल कपट को मानसिक बल दीजिए, प्रभु आत्मिक बल दीजिए।
Let's move now for Ashirvad, the blessings. And often when we sit down in prayers at the time of blessings, we think this is the only time that we can get the grace of God on us. No. The grace of Ishwar God is always flowing around us, within our mind, within our hearts, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at all times. It's just only that we are not the appropriate recipient to receive that grace. We are just standing like a colando or strainer and trying to collect that grace of Ishwar. So if you want to be blessed by Ishwar God, really be blessed, let's at least, I would say to go and read big books, scriptures, but if we listen to the divine guidance, the inner voice within us, that would suffice to put us on a good footing where we'll feel the grace of Ishwar God flowing all around us and within our hearts and mind. Om Satya Santo Yajmanasya Kama, Om Purna Santo Yajmanasya Kama, Om Safala Santo Yajmanasya Kama, Satya Santo Yajmanasya Kama. May the wishes, the desires of the Yajman be truthful. Then Purna Santo, the truthful wishes, desires of the Yajman be complete. And the truthful wishes, desires of the Yajman be complete with Purna Safalta, 100% success. Swasti Mantra. Om Swasti na Indro Vridharshava, Swasti na Posha Vishveda, Swasti na Staksharyo Arishtanimi, Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu, ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्रा स्थिरैरङ्गैष्टोष्टवांसस्तनुर्भिर्व्यशेमहि देवहितं यदायु ॐ स्वस्ति 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 ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. By the grace of Ishvara God, Yaj for today is over. Our gratitude to Ishvara for having given us this day of today. I usually say, so many people just sleep and never wake up. So let's pay gratitude to Ishvara God for having got the new, as we say, the lease of life for this day of today. For the opportunity to participate in this Yaj, for the Samarthya, the means that He's given us to hold this Yaj and be participants here, for the knowledge of the Vedas, and for the sanskar that has been transmitted to us through parents, gurus, mentors, and rishis, and the gratitude to all those who've directly or indirectly contributed to this Yaj. So that's feeling of gratitude. It's good to remember, and remember every day when we wake up from bed, just take 1 minute, sit down on bed, and pay gratitude to Ishvara God for the new day we are seeing in our life. Thank you. Sabhi ko sadar namaste. Now for bhajan, volunteers please. Just unmute yourself and proceed.
जी आप गाइए पहले.
Who?
इनका नाम क्या है? सॉरी आचार्य जी. प्रेम.
Priyam.
Priyam. Okay. Is she hearing? I don't know.
Yes, she is there.
Okay.
Priyamji,
I am
unmute
hearing,
yourself.
but I am
Yeah,
looking
that's
for.
good. That's good.
Okay, then.
मुझे बस दो मिनट दे दीजिए. 1 मिनट.
Okay,
1 मिनट
I'll take one short bhajan with 4 lines.
Okay.
सब वेद पढ़ें सुविचार बढ़ें बल पाय चढ़े नित्य ऊपर को. सब वेद पढ़ें सुविचार बढ़ें बल पाय चढ़े नित्य ऊपर को. अविरोध रहें रिझु पंथ गाएं. अविरोध रहें रिझु पंथ गाएं. परिवार कहें वसुधा भर को. परिवार कहें वसुधा भर को. सब वेद पढ़ें सुविचार बढ़ें बल पाय चढ़ें नित्य ऊपर को. ध्रुव धर्म धरें पर दुख हरें. ध्रुव धर्म धरें पर दुख हरें. तन त्याग तरें भव सागर को. तन त्याग तरें भव सागर को. सब वेद पढ़ें सुविचार बढ़ें बल पाय चढ़ें नित्य ऊपर को. दिन फेर पितावर दे सविता. दिन फेर पितावर दे सविता, हम आर्य करें जगती भर को, हम आर्य करें जगती भर को। सब वेद पढ़ें सुविचार बढ़ें, बल पाय चढ़े नित्य ऊपर को, बल पाय चढ़े नित्य ऊपर को। Next please.
Very nice, Acharya ji.
Thank you.
I will do this bhajan. It is for the first time I'm trying.
No problem.
Please bear with me. हे ज्ञान रूप भगवान, हे ज्ञान रूप भगवान, हमको भी ज्ञान दे दो। हे ज्ञान रूप भगवान, हमको भी ज्ञान दे दो। करुणा के चार छींटे, करुणा निधान दे दो। हे ज्ञान रूप भगवान, हमको भी ज्ञान दे दो। सुलझा सके हम अपनी जीवन की उलझनों को, सुलझा सके हम अपनी जीवन की उलझनों को। प्रज्वालित भरा बुद्धि, बुद्धि का दान दे दो। करुणा के चार छींटे, करुणा निधान दे दो। हे ज्ञान रूप भगवान, हमको भी ज्ञान दे दो। दाता तुम्हारे दर पर किस चीज की कमी है, दाता तुम्हारे दर पर किस चीज की कमी है। चाहो निर्धनों को दौलत की खान दे दो। करुणा के चार छींटे, करुणा निधान दे दो। हे ज्ञान रूप भगवान, हमको भी ज्ञान दे दो। अपनी मदद हमेशा खुद आप कर सके हम, अपनी मदद हमेशा खुद आप कर सके हम, खुद आप कर सके हम। इन बाजुओं में शक्ति, हे शक्तिमान दे दो। करुणा के चार छींटे, करुणा निधान दे दो। हे ज्ञानवान भगवान, हमको भी ज्ञान दे दो। हे ईश तुम ही सबकी बिगड़ी बनाने वाले, हे ईश तुम ही सबकी बिगड़ी बनाने वाले, बिगड़ी बनाने वाले। जीवन सफल बने यह थोड़ा सा ज्ञान दे दो। करुणा के चार छींटे, करुणा निधान दे दो। हे ज्ञान रूप भगवान, हमको भी जान दे दो। डर है प्रभु तुम्हारा, रास्ता न भूल जाए। डर है प्रभु तुम्हारा, रास्ता न भूल जाए। रास्ता न भूल जाए। भक्तों की मंडली में हमको भी स्थान दे दो। करुणा के चार छींटे करुणा निधान दे दो। हे जान रूप भगवन, हमको भी जान दे दो। थैंक यू।
That was good. First
I
time
tried
that
for
was
the
good.
first time.
क्योंकि ये लंबा भजन है, that's a very
हाँ,
long bhajan.
it is indeed.
Because I think on YouTube, Dinesh Patik gets it's over, I think it's more than 5 minutes.
It is. And he
Yeah.
like double, I mean, he sang twice everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it runs for at least 3 minutes in
Like,
single run.
It was my first time
That's
trial.
good. That was good.
Thank you.
Just remember one line there. It says, Dhyanvan Bhagavan Udyan Roop Bhagavan. This refers to the knowledge of the Vedas, because God is always giving us knowledge and knowledge and knowledge. And with that knowledge, we can acquire whatever we want. And where it says, Lakhon ki khan de do, is only through knowledge. Because without karma, we are not going to get anything. Even in a lottery ticket, people will have to go and buy the lottery ticket. So there is karma involved there. So there is nothing which is free. We have to do our karma to get good karma will generate good outcomes. Next, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, that's good.
Thank you. ऐसी कृपा करो भगवान, हरदम रहे तुम्हारा ध्यान। ऐसी दे दो दृढ़ विश्वास, हरदम समझें आपको पास। करें तुम्हारा ही गुणगान, ऐसी कृपा करो भगवान। सुख में तुमको भूल न जाए, दुख आने पर ना घबराए। सुख और दुख में रहे समान, ऐसी कृपा करो भगवान। करें जगत के सारे धंधे, पर धंधों में पड़े न फंदे। जीवन होवे कमल समान, ऐसी कृपा करो भगवान। दयावान और परोपकारी, सबके बन जाए हितकारी। सब जगत का चाहे कल्याण, ऐसी कृपा करो भगवान। हर एक की हम करें भलाई, किसी के साथ न करें बुराई। ऐसे नेक बने इंसान, ऐसी कृपा करो भगवान। गुण अपनाएं अवगुण छोड़े, झूठ कपट छल से मुख मोड़े। नम्र बने तज कर अभिमान, ऐसी कृपा करो भगवान। हे जगदीश्वर अंतर्यामी, मिलकर हम सब सेवक ज्ञानी। मांग रहे हैं ये वरदान, ऐसी कृपा करो भगवान। ऐसी कृपा करो भगवान, हरदम रहे तुम्हारा ध्यान।
Thank you, Prem ji. That's another inspiring bhajan. Remember chanting that in the Arya Samaj Mandir when we were kids. And really inspiring because it says Hardam Rahe Tumhara Dhyan. And that is the concept of Ishwar Pranidhan in yoga. Because when we always remember God is in one way, God omnipresent, present everywhere and at all times, and Sarva Vyapak, and then Sarvajya, omniscient, knowing all the occurrences of the universe, even at the level of our thoughts, our words, and our all physical actions. So if we remember that Ishwar hame har pal har samay देख रहा है, सुन रहा है और जान रहा है. Always watching whatever we are doing, always listening to what we're speaking, and always knowing what you are thinking about. So we'll be careful in life. Thank you, Premji. Anybody else? So if there's nobody else for bhajan, yeah, Ushadi, yes, please. Unmute yourself. We can't hear.
धन्य है तुझको है ऋषि, तूने हमें जगा दिया. सौ के लुट रहे थे हम, तूने हमें जगा दिया. अंधों को आंखें मिल गई, जाति में जान आ गई. अंधों को आंखें मिल गई, जाति में जान आ गई. जादू सा क्या चला दिया, अमृत सा क्या पिला दिया. जादू सा क्या चला दिया, अमृत सा क्या पिला दिया. धन्य है तुझको ऐ ऋषि, तूने हमें जगा दिया. वाणी में क्या तासीर थी, तेरे वचन में ऐ ऋषि. कितने शहीद हो गए, कितनों ने सर कटा दिया. धन्य है तुझको ऐ ऋषि, तूने हमें जगा दिया. अपने लहू से लेख नाम, तेरी कहानी लिख गया. तूने ही लाजपत शेरे हिंद बना दिया. धन्य है तुझको ऐ ऋषि, तूने हमें जगा दिया. श्रद्धा से श्रद्धानंद ने सीने पे खाई गोलियां. श्रद्धा से श्रद्धानंद ने सीने पे खाई गोलियां. हंस हंस के हंस राज ने तन मन वदन लुटा दिया. धन्य है तुझको ऐ ऋषि, तूने हमें जगा दिया. तेरे दीवाने जिस घड़ी दक्षिण दिशा को चल दिए, तेरे दीवाने जिस घड़ी दक्षिण दिशा को चल दिए, हैरत में लोग रह गए, दुनिया का दिल हिला दिया। धन्य है तुझको ऐ ऋषि, तूने हमें जगा दिया, तूने हमें जगा दिया। धन्यवाद। We can't hear you, Acharya ji.
Thank you, Ushaji. Inspiring bhajans, especially when we take into the context. Today is Satyartha Prakash Jayanti, celebrating the start of the dictation of the Satyartha Prakash. And this is one book which we usually call in English as the masterpiece among the works of different works of Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati, and which really triggered so many people to change their lives, to gear life more towards spirituality in line with the teachings of the Vedas. So Dhananjay is taking for another commitment. I don't see him. Okay. Let's go directly for the speech of today. So welcome everybody, acknowledging all of you present here. And thank you again for your continuous support. I'll be talking on the Satyartha Prakash today, and I'll be sharing through PowerPoint presentation. So let's sit down straight, close our eyes gently, bring our mind to focus, deep inhale and exhale, chanting Om 3 times. Slowly, gently open the eyes. सभी का स्वागत है. Welcome everybody. सभी को सादर नमस्ते. आत्मीय बंधुओं, friends in soul. 12th June 1874. Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati started the dictation of his masterpiece, the Satyartha Prakash, which was completed in a very short period of 3.5 months. And the first edition, Satyartha Prakash, was inspired by one of the bhaktas of Maharishi Dayananda Saraswati, who requested Swami Dayananda to pen down his thoughts so that that would stay for posterity, for future generations. And on this proposal that it would also reach a larger, wider audience, the whole population of India, that was the main goal. Satyartha Prakash nowadays exists in 23 languages, translated by various personalities. The first translation in English was by Dr. Chiranjeev Bhardwaj, but we also find translation by Ganga Prasad Upadhyay and Durga Prasad ji. French was done by Louise Morin. We have it also in Dutch, in Swahili, and in many of the regional languages of India, plus Chinese. Satyartha Prakash. The word, conjunct words, Satya, Arth, and Prakash. Satya means truth, Arth refers to the meaning, and Prakash, light. So it's invariably the meaning of the light of truth, or shedding light on the meaning of truth, whichever combination we choose. It brings to the whole same story, but for short in English, it's known as the light of truth. My approach today would be quite different from probably what you've been hearing on Satyartha Prakash. I will take it in terms of numbers to make it short and easy to remember some of the catching points. One objective of the Satyartha Prakash is Manur Bhava, transform men and women, which unfortunately we call social animals, into social beings, into real human beings. Human in thoughts, human in words, and human in physical actions. Manasa vacha karmana. Human in character, human in deeds, and human in nature. Gun, karma, swabhav. If you want to remember Satyartha Prakash, just start like this by the numbers. 1, Manurbhava, be human. 1 also refers to the one and only Ishvara God. The prime name is Om, and Ishvara is our Ishta Devta. We always find people keeping some picture in their pockets of their gurus and everything and say, this is my Ishta Dev. So this shows that this is greater than the real supreme almighty God. Unfortunately, it's like this in the world. So let's take it, Ishta Dev, Ishwar God, the dearest to us. As we say, Bhu Prano Se Bhi, Prano Ke Bhi Pran, Pranadhar. Then we know Ishwar as the Param Guru, the first who gave the knowledge of the Vedas and by the creation gave us the knowledge of this universe. One Dharma, that is Vedic Dharma, Sat Sanatan Vedic Dharma. Sat means which has an existence. It flows from the Vedas. Sanatan because it's eternal with no beginning and no end. Why no beginning and no end? Because it starts with God and ends with God. And God is eternal. Even during the dissolution phase, pralay phase of our universe, the knowledge is still with God. That's why it's eternal. Satta Sanatan Vedic Dharma. Then if we remember two, remember the pairs, Paravidya and Aparavidya, worldly and spiritual knowledge. Remember the two ways in life, the Shrey Marg and the Prey Marg. The Shrey Marg on which we feel happy, but we wander along in life. And the Prey Marg is the most noble chosen objective. Difficult to walk at times, but then remember, it brings us to the goal of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Then remember Srishti and Pralay. The creation is Srishti, and after the solution, it will be Pralay. So let's work to go into moksha so that even during Pralay, we'll be enjoying the bliss of Ishvara God. Then remember the 2 sessions of meditation, sunrise and sunset, Sandhyopasana Vidhi. The timing for that, sunrise and sunset. If you want to remember 2, remember also 2 as the opposites. Satya, Satya, truth and untruth. Tamas and Jyoti. Darkness and light. Darkness of ignorance and the light of knowledge. Dharma, dharma. Virtue and vice. Kartavya and akartavya. Our duties and responsibilities and negligence. Then Mrityu and Amrit, the cycle of birth and death, and the bliss of Ishvara in salvation, moksha, mukti. I'm just going to be brief like this point form. Then if we want to remember free, remember the creation. Each and every creation in this universe needs 3 causes. Upadan Karan, the raw material. Sadharan Karan, the know-how, the tools, the knowledge for creation. Then the Nimit Karan is the creator. Like if we take a pot, an earthen pot, earth is the raw materials, the wheel, the clay, all these are the tools, not the clay, the wheel, the fire to cook the pot. These are the tools, Sadharan Karan, and Nimit Karan, the potter is the creator. Likewise for this universe, Prakriti, Sattva, Rajtam, and the primordial state of matter is the Upadan Karan, the material cause. Then Ishvara, omniscient, having all the knowledge, and omnipotent, almighty, is both the Sadharan and Nimit Karan, the agental cause and the creator. Remembering 2, remember Prakriti as Sattva Rajatam, and if we allow Sattva to dominate our personality, we'll be pleasant people. If we allow Rajas to dominate our personality, then we'll be super active, but then very turbulent. And if we allow Tamas, then we'll be dull persons. Then remember karma is also, I already mentioned it, through man, vani and sharir, manasa vacha karmana, through our thoughts, our words and our deeds. And the 3 types of karma are pap, punya and mishrit. Pap is totally negative karma, punya the positive karma, and mishrit is the mixture. And one example of mishrit karma is when we are walking, say, to help somebody. When we are walking, probably there are ants or other small insects which go into our feet, under our feet, and they die there. This is mishrit karma, like the farmers who are plowing the fields, so many worms and other organisms just die. But then look for the greater cause. The greater cause is doing good. So when you offset that in mishrit karma, the main goal takes precedence over the smaller occurrences. Then remember the trio, the avastha, in what state. We have the Jagrit avastha where we are awake. We have the Swapna avastha where we are dreaming. And we have the Shushupti avastha where we are sleeping. So we have to be careful, divide our time so that we have a balanced life. Remember the 3 gurus in our life. Matri Devo Bhava, Pitri Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava, or Matriman, Pitriman, Acharyavan, Purusho Veda. Remember the 3 rains, the 3 deaths indebted to our parents for the knowledge of the sanskar, the opportunity they are raising us, to the rishis for having transmitted the knowledge of the Vedas to us, and to the devas for like water, air, space, fire, etc., which allows us to sustain our life. The triology consists of the three eternals, Ishwaraji, Prakriti, God, the soul, and matter. Then remember the trio as Shuddha Dhyan, Shuddha Karma, Shuddha Upasana. Purity in knowledge, in actions, and in meditation, communion. Remember in prayers, Stuti, Prarthana, Upasana. Praise, prayer, and meditation. Remember also, we have three types of pain, suffering, sorrows. As we say, Dukh, Adhyatmik, Adibhautik, and Adidaivik. Those for which we are responsible ourselves, probably by overeating, by lack of exercise, and we get sick, we get all the other problems. That is Adhyatmik Dukh. Adibhautik Dukh is caused by other living beings. It may be persons or animals or other living things. Then Adidaivik Dukh, naturally it comes from the calamities. We are in this world, we have to face them. But as we say, Sukh aur Dukh mein rahe saman, as was there in the Bhajan. If we are there, then we'll find the way out. If you want to remember the 4 steps in understanding, which Maharishi Danan has explained in the preface Bhumika of the Satyartha Prakash. Akanksha, Asati, Yogyata, and Tatparya. Let's look into the context of whatever is being taught to us as we are listening. Akanksha means often. There are things which are not said or written, but as we say, it's an undertone. Or often the speaker doesn't find the appropriate words and try to find the best fit. So we have to take it in the context and not move it out of context. Then asati, yogyata, and tatparya. It's always putting things into the context. Asati words may have various meanings, but we have to put it in the appropriate context. Maharishi Danan gives the example of sendav, which means the horse and the salt. So if somebody is sitting for lunch or dinner and asks for sendav, don't bring the horse. And if somebody is going outside for a journey, then the horse is brought. Likewise, if I take 2 words in English, peace, P-A-C, and peace, P-I-E-C. We say we want to live in peace, it's P-A-C. And if we live in peace, P-I-E-C, there is no peace in our life. Then yogyata may also, this is where we have to look often at the punctuation. Like there's one example. The judge has passed the sentence on a die-hard criminal, death penalty. Then he gets fresh evidence and sends a message. Wait, comma, not kill. And the person who transmits the message, if he puts it, wait, not kill, what happens? The outcome is totally different. So we have to be careful. And tatparya means, let's look at things within the context and not distort the words of the speaker or the author, the writer. Then we have also the 4 steps in effective learning. Shravan, listening, reading also would be there in the world of today, because when that was written, there was no paper and pen. Now we read also, so Shravan would also include But most of the knowledge we gain is by listening to others. Then manan means contemplation. Contemplate on what we've read, what we've listened, so we can get it fixed into our memory. Like when we work on computer, we save the file there, we save it in our memory. Then nididhyasan. Nididhyasan is about putting questions to clear doubts and get fixed on the subject matter. And the next process, after clearing all the doubts, we realize the true knowledge and we can start applying that knowledge in life. So if we look at 4 also, 4 refers to the 4 Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sam, and Atharva. The 4 branches of knowledge there, one is Jnana, knowledge. Yajurved focus on karma, actions. Samved on upasana, bhakti. And Atharvaved on Vijnana, science. Let's look also at 4 in terms of the 4 Purushartha, life objectives of humans. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Righteous living, righteous earnings, righteous enjoyment, and ultimately move to liberation, mukti, moksha. If you look at 4 also, we can look in terms of the 4 ashrams. Brahmacharya, Grihast, Vanprastha, Sannyas, celibacy, studentship, married life, then retirement and renunciation. We can look at the social class in terms of division of labor. The educators, Brahman, the Kshatriya, the defense forces, the Vaishya, business community and planters, farmers, and Shudra, the manual workers. If we look at 4 in terms of personality, we are either happy, sukhi, we are unhappy, dukhi, we are punya, that is, we are noble, or we are bad, apunya. And the 4 attitudes in life, Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha. That is, be friendly towards those who are happy, have compassion for those who are suffering, be elated in the company of those who are noble, and be indifferent to those who are cruel. This is, I think, in chapter 3 of Satyartha Prakash. Then look at 5 in terms of the 5 Mahayajna, Brahma Yajna, Devi Yajna, Balivaishu Devi Yajna, and Pitra Yajna. If we go like this, we'll find avidya, smita, rag, dvesha, abhinivesh are the 5 hurdles in life. Ignorance, ego, or the concept of the body is the whole of it. There's nothing beyond that. Then inordinate attachment or hate, and then the fear of death. Or the 5 aspects of life as a social being. Vyaktigat, that is our personal life. So since we are social beings, we also have a family life. Social life, samajik. We have a life as citizen of the country, rashtriya, and as the global citizen in terms of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, Vaishvik life. Or the 5 levels of intelligence, Samanya Buddhi, which is the average level of intelligence, Sad Buddhi, which always gauge between right and wrong, Medha Buddhi is 1 step ahead. Medha Buddhi allows us to stay put on dharma and stay away from adharma. Then we have Ritambara Buddhi, which flows into continuation on one subject matter. We have Prajya Buddhi, that is in Samadhi, where we receive knowledge directly from Ishwar God. And if we look at 6, we have the 6 branches of philosophy in terms of the darshan: Yoga, Sankhya, Vaisheshik, Nyaya, Vedanta, and Mimamsa. And it's always treated in pairs. Yoga and Sankhya, Vaisheshik, and Nyaya, and Vedanta, and Mimamsa. Yoga and Sankhya, all these 6 branches of philosophy lead us ultimately to moksha. But the theory is more or less similar but quite different, but also similar. That's why it goes into pairs. Then we have the 6 taste: sweet, bitter, hot, sour, acidic, and salty. And these are also 6 facets of life. Life can be sweet, can be bitter, can be hot, can be sour, can be acidic, can be salty, depends on how we take it. And if we want to stay calm, let's put it there. Sukha aur dukh mein rahe saman. Then we have 7. Look at Sandhya, the pranayam. Om bhu, om bhuva, om swaha, om maha, om jana, om tapa, om satyam. Take a deep breath and say this mantra. You will find starts equilibrating our body energy, our body balance. And it goes in the same line with the 7 swara in Sangeet. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. All the 7 main chandas in Sanskrit. We'll do the chandas probably at some later time. And it goes like that. 7, we have the 7 steps to become an Arya. Be truthful, be simple living, be benevolent, have self-control, be a follower of the laws of nature, the laws given to us in the Vedas, be noble, and be loyal to the country of birth and the country of residence. So if we go like that, in fact, the whole presentation will take me more than 1 hour. We are, I think, just now within the time limit. I'll continue with that at some other point in time. Next week, I'll be talking more on International Yoga Day. And then I'll come back to this subject. Just remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it will come to up to 10. And I will take that probably the week after. So I just hope I've been able to give you some other way of looking into the Satyartha Prakash and giving you a way of remember some key things from the Satyartha Prakash in terms of numbers, which makes it easy to recall. What I may be doing, I think I have, I have the mobile number of most of you. What I can do, I can just share this PowerPoint as a PDF file to you, and you can go through it. And if you have any queries, you can write to me either on Facebook Messenger, or you can send me a text message on WhatsApp. I'll be pleased to reply to you. So I'll end this presentation here. It's a bit abrupt, but we have to respect the time. In fact, I have a parallel conference running on Satyartha Prakash with, which is international. So let's move towards closure of this satsang of today. And I see there's one Asha Jitaya. I don't have the contact details for whom I can share. If you can choose to share your WhatsApp number or
Namaste.
Your email ID, I can forward that to you. Okay, so thank you for your attention. I need a volunteer for Aarti Bhajan, please.
सबको सादर नमस्ते.
Namaste ji.
टाइम जोन का कंफ्यूजन के चलते थोड़ा
We'll
डिले
keep
हुआ
the
है.
channel open for comments after Shanti Path. So let's have the Aarti Bhajan from one volunteer. Priyam ji, would like to do it? Or Usha ji?
I can do it.
Yeah, please.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare भक्त जनों के संकट आर्य जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। जो ध्यावे फल पावे, दुख विन से मन का। स्वामी दुख विन से मन का। सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, कष्ट मिटे तन का। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। मात पिता तुम मेरे, शरण पढ़ू मैं किसकी। स्वामी शरण पढ़ू मैं किसकी। तुम बिन और न दूजा, प्रभु बिन और न दूजा। आस मैं किसकी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम पूरन परमात्मा, तुम अंतर्यामी। स्वामी तुम अंतर्यामी। पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर, तुम सबके स्वामी। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम करुणा के सागर, तुम पालन करता। स्वामी तुम पालन करता। मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी, मैं सेवक तुम स्वामी। कृपा करो भरता। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तुम हो एक गोचर, सबके प्राणपति। स्वामी सबके प्राणपति। तुम बिन और न दूजा, बिन और सीधो सुमति। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। दीन बंधु दुख हरता, तुम रक्षक मेरे। स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे। अपने हस्त उठाओ, अपनी शरण लगाओ। द्वार पड़ा मैं तेरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा। स्वामी कष्ट हरो देवा। श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, श्रद्धा प्रेम बढ़ाओ। संतन की सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। तन मन धन सब कुछ है तेरा। स्वामी सब कुछ है तेरा। तेरा तुझको अर्पण, तेरा तुझको अर्पण। क्या लागे मेरा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट, आर्य जनों के संकट, क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे।
Moving towards Shanti Path, 4 lines of blessings and then free shlok in the yogic meditative form, and also Shanti Path in the course of yoga meditation. भगवान इस परिवार को सुख का सदा वरदान दो, ज्ञान की गंगा बहाकर शुद्ध वैदिक ज्ञान दो, निरोग होकर सब जिए शतवर्ष आयुष्मान हो, धन धान्य से पूरित सदा यश युक्त कीर्तिमान हो, पुत्र पौत्रादिक सभी बलवान हो, श्रीमान हो, विद्वान हो, मतिमान हो, धर्मात्मा धीमान हो। ओम असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मृतं गमय, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तो निरामय, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव, त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव, त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव, त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा। ओम द्यौ शांति, अंतरिक्षं शांति, पृथिवी शांति, आपः शांति, ओषधयः शांति, वनस्पतयः शांति, विश्वे देवाः शांति, ब्रह्म शांति, सर्वं शांति, शांतिरेव शांति, सामा शांतिरेधि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। सभी को सादर नमस्ते, नमस्ते to everybody and thank you.